I'm Dana Johnson. I'm the author of this book called Will This Be on the Test? What Your Professors Really Want You to Know About Succeeding in College. I've taught college students for decades, and so I know where they tend to stumble and fumble. So, in this short video, I want to give you tips that you should think about before you head to college. Hopefully, you will find college to be an interesting and exciting experience, but you need to be prepared about what to expect. You will have to be ready to think and act in new ways in college. In high school, teachers often teach to the test. There's more emphasis on this is what you need to know, even in AP classes. But in college, it's not like that. Everything is fair game for a test. So don't even bother asking the question, will this be on the test? Higher level thinking is required in college rather than memorizing or gathering information. You are more likely to be expected to solve new problems, not just locate and reproduce someone else's solution. Your papers are not just a summary of material you gather together. In my calculus classes, when students complain after an exam that there were problems that were not exactly like problems that they had seen before, I tell them that that's the expectation after college, that they will have to use the knowledge and skills that they've learned in order to solve new problems. So they should not be in the habit of just memorizing standard ways of doing standard problems. The goal is to think. Personal responsibility is a major factor in academic success. In college life, there are very few of the supports and safety nets of high school, such as extensions on your papers and deadlines, reminders of when things are due, opportunities to redo work in order to get a better grade, reviews in class for quizzes and exams. College classes have very little class time available, even to cover the basic material, so there's very little time to do any kind of reviewing. There may be optional review sessions, but not reviews in classes. Extra credit is a high school concept. There are very few opportunities for extra credit in college. Attending college is a choice, and your professors assume you have chosen to go to college and that you know how to meet the requirements without a lot of guidance from them. Your parents do not have the right to monitor your grades or talk to your professors. They don't see your grades unless you share them with them. No one is looking over your shoulder to monitor your progress. In my experience, students who take personal responsibility for all aspects of their lives, both in and out of their coursework, will be the most successful in college, and they will also be the best prepared for life after college. Students commonly fall into the procrastination trap of waiting too long to start assignments. There are fewer daily deadlines in college and more big projects and papers. There are fewer smaller grades, so the exams, papers, and projects tend to count for big chunks of your grade. Students often think nothing is due tomorrow, so they don't do what is needed until too close to the deadline. The rule of thumb in college is that you will have to spend approximately 2 hours outside of class for each hour of in class instruction. Here's an example of a typical college student schedule. Full time students spend approximately 15 in class hours a week. That's 15 credit hours. That means you need to spend 30 hours a week outside of class reviewing your notes, completing assignments and projects, prepping for the next class, reading assigned readings, writing papers, and studying. Studying needs to be a continuous activity throughout the semester, not just before the final exam. You have to start early on assignments. Pulling an all nighter does not make up for poor planning on your part. This all goes back to personal responsibility. None of us are perfect, and there will be fumbles, some big ones and some little ones. But you need to use each fumble as a learning opportunity. You can't blame others, such as the test was too long, the professor graded too hard, he did not remind us, I wasn't in class when she made that announcement. The assignment was too hard. My printer ran out of ink. My alarm did not go off. Rather than make excuses, you need to learn from your mistakes and fix them as you go forward. If a professor writes criticisms or corrections on your papers, you need to figure out how these problems occurred and how not to repeat them. If you get a poor exam grade and you don't understand how to improve your performance, it's your responsibility to go to see the professor for advice. Suppose you oversleep and you miss a class. What should you do? Well, here's something you should not do. It is not the responsibility of your professor to catch you up on what you missed. Instead, you need to check with a classmate. Therefore, you need to meet classmates in every course. Then you can check with them instead of the professor if you miss class, but you can also form a study group. It may take you some effort to meet other students, but you need to do it early in every course as part of your own personal safety net. I've only scratched the surface of things that you need to know about going to college. For more tips, you can read my book or you can watch my next video, Tips for the College Bound Part 2. I would be happy to have you join me on Facebook at the page Will This Be on the Test? Or follow me on Twitter. College can be a great experience if you're prepared and you know what to expect. I hope this video has been helpful for that. Best wishes to you for great success in your college courses.